the University of Phoenix Stadium, a.k.a. the Big Toaster, the site of Super Bowl 42. Serious history in the making. Either the Patriots complete their mission of going a perfect 19-0, or the New York Football Giants pull off one of the biggest upsets in Super Bowl history. We've got 3 hours to get you set for the duel in the desert here on Super Bowl Sunday NFL Countdown.
Perfection. For these Patriots, the perfect ending is almost theirs. Tonight, a chance to take the final step, an end to a journey few in sport have ever achieved.
The Dolphins have won Super Bowl VII. The Huskers finish perfect 13-0 and won another national championship. Their 7th in a row.
There's nothing like the culmination of a perfect championship season.
When you realize that it's something that nobody had ever done, you're very, very proud of that accomplishment.
The Dolphins have completed the greatest season in NFL history.
Winning can build pressure. You're thinking, you know, we can't let down. We got to be perfect one more time.
It is history, and bring that trophy back to Lincoln.
No good player has ever sat around after losing a championship game and said, oh, we had a pretty good season.
While the final stride to perfection can be daunting, it is also an opportunity. In Super Bowl 42, it's the Giants' opportunity.
Lawrence Todd just kicked the Giants to the Super Bowl.
For glory belongs not only to those who attain perfection, but for those select few who dare to stop it.
When you're playing somebody who is seeking a championship and perfection at the same time, they have an added burden on them.
The eyes of the entire nation upon this ball game tonight.
Just a little bit of a chance that team might be a little bit tight at some moment. And maybe it's the critical moment.
It's over! The Bulldogs have pulled off the biggest upset in the history of youth basketball!
David against Goliath.
One play at a time. Right. All right, we're in this till the end.
It's going to be physical. It's going to be tough. You're going to be tired.
16 minutes. You understand me?
You're 18-1. And that one loss is a Super Bowl loss. It destroys your season.
Welcome to a special edition of Sunday NFL Countdown from Arizona, presented by IBM.
Standing on the corner, ready to head to Glendale, Arizona. And such a fine sight to see. The Patriots and the G-Men slowing down to try to win the whole thing. Super Bowl 42. The fans are ready from the Northeast Corridor for sure. But football fans from all over have flocked here to Arizona to see some sort of history. And welcome everybody to the frozen tundra, Southbridge and Scottsdale. Here it has been our home for the week, and thanks for making it, hopefully, your home for the week, and certainly your home this morning. I'm Chris Berman. Welcome to a 3-hour edition of Sunday NFL Countdown, and I am with ghosts, and not ghosts, of great successes and great appearances, Super Bowl past. To my left, 16 Super Bowl appearances, and 10 Super Bowl rings.
Wow.
Coach Ditka, you'll remember what's going on at this point, Coach?
Well, that was Coach Landry's first Super Bowl win. That was a big thing for me. This one here, that was a pretty good football team. We only shut out 2 teams in the playoffs and gave out 10 in the Super Bowl.
Well, so Coach Mike Ditka, and another Super Bowl for you, and you remember what everybody, coaches and players are going through right now. Keyshawn Johnson with the Bucs. What do you remember from this morning and this day?
Well, I think that the one thing that I thought about my entire career was getting to the Super Bowl, but then, you know, boom, it was one of those things where you sat in that tunnel for 45 minutes before the game, hyperventilating, trying to figure out, you know, how to get this thing over with. That first quarter was amazing, but then you said, I don't want to be that guy that screw it up. I want the football. Give me the ball now. But that's not what I want to do. I don't want to drop the ball and screw it up and be that guy.
Well, let me go to Emmitt Smith next, because Well, you have fond memories of the last time we were here in Phoenix 12 years ago. It was when the Cowboys won their third and fourth. What do you remember on Super Bowl?
You know, for 3 hours, we have an opportunity to display our talents, our team, to the world. The world will be watching. So the question is, what is it that you want to leave with the country? And for me, the bigger the stage, the better I perform. And I've always wanted to be that one guy to show up and say, hey, Emmitt Smith performed his best. The world saw it. They authenticated it, and it was awesome.
You did that.
It was awesome.
You did that.
That's what I wanted people to say.
Well, we're still saying it. Tom Jackson, we've been together for 21 years, but before that, you know the Super Bowls. What do you remember, including your finals?
Well, when I woke up that morning, you always wake up thinking you're going to be world champion by the end of the day. And you know me, you know how excited I get to play. I woke up, ate breakfast. I was ready to take a bus and get down to the stadium. Let's get down there. If I sit for 5 or 6 hours, that's fine. Let's go play. Didn't turn out well for me the 2 times that I was in it, but I'm glad to have at least had a chance to play in it.
How fast did it take you to eat your breakfast? 42 seconds?
Not very long, Boo.
Eggs gone.
Not very long.
Eggs gone. Well, in the experience factor, the Patriots have 20 players who have played in at least one Super Bowl. The Giants have just 3. Is it a factor? We'll have to see. The Super Bowl never becomes old hat. In fact, it's a hat that the Patriots have been happy to wear many times, certainly for Coach Bill Belichick and much of his staff. For Teddy Bruschi, who was playing in his 5th Super Bowl, dating all the way back to his rookie year of 1996. And there are 7 others for whom this will be number 4, not to mention 12 others for whom Super Bowl 42 will not be their first rodeo. They shared their thoughts on waking up on Super Bowl morning.
Obviously, you have butterflies, but I think those butterflies soon subside because you know that you're well prepared, that you're ready to go. And this is the moment that you've been waiting for all your life.
First of all, you have to calm the emotions down because you're probably not going to play the game for another 8-9 hours.
You're visualizing, you're thinking about the week, you're thinking about the game, you're thinking about the moments you could experience, and I think most of all, you're thinking about how to win the game.
So the primary issue, of course, is the New England Patriots, who have a chance to do something that only the Dolphins did before, finish a season undefeated. 19-0. Let's put that into perspective. What would that season mean to you, Keith?
Well, I think you go 19-0. It's huge. You go 18-1. Obviously, it's not. You're embarrassed. You did a lot to get to this point. In the beginning of the year, the New England Patriots said, we'll retool. We'll try to get back to the Super Bowl. By the middle of the year, they said, we're going to try to go 16-0. They got to the end of the regular season. They looked and said, we'll go 19-0. We'll have that opportunity. But if they don't get to that today, then they should just kind of go bury their head in the sand.
But you know what's so unique about this team? This team has an opportunity to do something very special. There's only been one team to go win 4 Super Bowls in 6 years. This team has a chance to do 4 Super Bowls in 7 years. If they go 19-0, this team would be in an elite class by itself for this season and this season only. This will be something that we all have never seen. I've never seen it before. I know Key hasn't. He's much younger than I am. But this is something that I have never seen before in my life, and I'm looking forward to today.
I'm going to borrow a line from Junior Seau. I think he's one of the more passionate guys who's ever played in the National Football League. And he said, good, great, ever. We have a chance to be a part of ever. And that's, you know, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Babe Ruth. That is what's on the line today. And I think that pressure, by the time they get ready to play, you'll be able to touch it. It will be palpable by the time that game starts.
Absolutely.
Well, Boom, I think they'll be the greatest team. Listen to me. I'm going to make it very clear of this decade. That's the last 10 years. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to say they're better than all the other teams that have won Super Bowls in history. I'm not going to say that. But they will be the best of this day. And the other thing is, hey, you prepare to win. You never prepare to lose. So if you lose, the loss is so much greater than the victory is high. The low is lower than the high is high, believe me.
People always say that you never remember who lost the Super Bowl.
You don't.
If the Patriots lose this game,
you remember.
You will forever remember who lost this Super Bowl.
You know what? Let's put it into a big picture, all right? They won the games they played in the summer. They won the games they played in the fall, all of them. They won, if they win today, all the games they played in the winter. Think of the greatest teams that we think. 78 Steelers, Coach's Bears, Niners of the 80s, Emmett's Cowboys. They all lost 1 or 2 or more in those seasons. So no losses in 3. They turned the calendar. Speaks for itself. We have three gentlemen who are happy to speak for themselves, and we're happy to listen. Our Super Bowl MVP quarterback, and that would be Steve Young, his 6-touchdown pass performance a few moons ago. Our Super Bowl veteran quarterback, Ron Jaworski, and at the big toaster in the stadium, putting in the bread and the English muffins, that would be our Monday Night Football quarterback, Mike Tirico. Happy Super Bowl, guys.
Thank you, Chris. It's the Countdown Alumni Group. We're so glad to be back with you guys here on this Super Sunday in Glendale, Arizona. You see the temperature. It is not the Valley of the Sun this morning. There's a chill. It is overcast. We expect showers during the day, and the decision on keeping the roof open or closed in this 2-year-old stadium that is northwest of downtown Phoenix, I should say, that will come right around the Alicia Keys performance in the pregame show on this Super Sunday. No matter what, the track is great. You may hear the blowers in the background. George Tomo, who's taking care of the field for every Super Bowl, says it is ready to roll. You mentioned Steve Young, Boomer. Well, here it is, the man who was on 3 teams that went to Super Bowls, played in 2, and had the one-day quarterback's dream of get that monkey off your back with 6 touchdowns against San Diego in the 49-28 win. And our Ron Jaworski, can it be a quarter-century plus? Nah, I won't even say. How many years ago that our guy Jaws led Dick Vermeil's Eagles to the Super Bowl, succumbing to the Raiders 27-10. But Ron and Steve bring a perspective that is so unique. The very few men who have quarterbacked a team on Super Bowl Sunday. So, guys, as we say good morning from the stadium, I think you can give us the best perspective on the players who we've talked about more than any other this week, and we'll watch so closely here this evening. What are they going through? Tom Brady, give us an idea of what Tom might be feeling here this morning, Steve.
This whole week that Tom Brady's been the most sought-after person of any team. He's got the most hoopla around him, but nobody has handled the week better. I'm Tom Brady this morning. I have spent the week totally compartmentalized. I go out and do my interviews. I handle my family. My sisters help me with my parents. Giselle's kind of come down, and they're going to take care of her. I got everything handled a whole week. All I do is watch film, hang with my linemen, and get ready to play the best football of my life. I know that Tom has played in other Super Bowls. I know that he's played well, but I know in his mind, today's the day where I put a mark on this season with how I play the best of my life.
And, Jaws, then there's Eli Manning, who knows the experience because of what his brother went through, but only until you experience it can you say what's going to happen. What do you think he's going through?
Well, he's got to inhale and then exhale and be very calm. I think that is the key for Eli Manning. Let the game come to him. Do not make mistakes early like I did in Super Bowl 15 when I had my first pass intercepted. The play wasn't there. I tried too hard to make a play. Eli Manning must take this game into the fourth quarter, and then he must close the game. If you look at the Patriots this season, the 3 games that they had 3-point wins against Philadelphia, Baltimore, and Eli Manning, the Giants, Week 17, they were 3-point games. Neither A.J. Feely, Kyle Bowler, or Eli Manning were able to finish and close the game out with a lead in the fourth quarter. Take it to the fourth quarter and then close the game out. That's what Eli must do.
And brother Peyton will be here to watch it out. Wouldn't it be the greatest photo op of all time if Peyton can give the trophy to Eli on Super Sunday night? Well, the Giants and Patriots, as you know, both getting ready and going through their final night routine and their Super Bowl morning routine. You heard from all of our guys on what they experienced on their Super Bowl morning. What are the teams doing right now? Of course, our reporters who've been with both teams all this Super Week have the coverage at the team hotels. We will hear momentarily from Ed Werder, who's with the Giants, but we begin where there's been a lot of news already this weekend and this Super Sunday morning with Sal Paolantonio covering the Patriots. Good morning, Sal.
Good morning, Mike. At the team hotel for the New England Patriots, it's business as usual. This is the morning of the 4th Super Bowl in the last 7 years, so the Patriots know the drill. Yesterday in the team hotel lobby, I caught up with veteran linebacker Mike Vrabel, who's been on all 4 of these Super Bowl teams. I asked him to assess the mood of the team. He told me we were sluggish during the week, but it's better now. It's closer to game time, so they know what it takes to get ready. They will depart for University of Phoenix Stadium in about 3 hours. And they are ready for this Super Bowl. And I'll tell you what, the revelations recently about Spygate, they have derived motivation from that all year long. And to me, right now, for this team, it's like poking the tiger with a stick right before you're going to fight him, Ed.
Well, Sal, every Giants player here at the team hotel has by now received their wake-up call beginning the most important day of their football lives. The Giants certainly respect what the undefeated Patriots have accomplished, but they believe they're capable of a Super Bowl upset, or at least that's what they're saying. And they're not particularly wary of the latest Spygate allegations and whether they might motivate the Patriots. Linebacker Antonio Pierce told me, quote, "We don't care about Spygate. What has us upset is they've already trademarked 19-0. And Boomer, there was so much intensity intensity in the Giants practices this week that Pierce told me there were several skirmishes. That tells him they're ready to play.
We would imagine that they're ready to go, Ed. Thank you, Ed, Sal, Mike, Steve, Jaws will be with you early and often. Helping in our coverage today, aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear. You can get there on triple tread technology. Say that 5 times fast. We're just underway.
Coming up, a quarterback on the verge of history. Which matchup will Tom Brady be able to exploit today? Standing in the way of history. The perfect game plan for a giant-sized upset reveal. Coming up.
You marry me, please?
Wow. I've never had a proposal.
From a Tom Brady marriage proposal to a Plaxico Burress Super Bowl guarantee. The wildest moments from the week before Super Bowl 42. Next.
And we're going down there for one reason, and one reason is to win and bring a title back to Foxborough. Go Patriots!
The Patriots continued their preparation for Super Bowl 42 with a 2-hour practice Wednesday.
I think it feels good. I think it feels great.
Can you talk about Tom Brady's participation in practice today?
No, not really.
I'm in love with you.
Are you really?
You marry me, please?
Wow.
Marry
I've
me,
never
please.
had a proposal.
I'm the real Miss Brady.
He did a couple of things that he shouldn't have done, and, you know, now we're really going to go at it this time. I think I might have been doing a little bit too much talking, you know, calling people dirty players or whatever. Man, all that's unnecessary. We have a football game to play.
Even before they got their chance to talk on Media Day, the Giants, well, they've been talking. Wideout Plaxico Burress predicted a 23-17 win.
It's okay to want to win and predict and dream and, you know, take this thing back to New York City.
We're only going to score 17 points? Okay.
Spygate will not go away.
Pennsylvania Senator Arlen Specter is questioning the way the NFL handled its early season investigation into the team's videotaping practices.
The reason why I destroyed the tapes or had them destroyed by our staff, because they were totally consistent with what the team told me.
It's a league matter. I don't know anything about it. Okay, thank you.
And those were the Friday press conferences, the commissioner and coach. Now the weekend's news. The Boston Herald reported that the Patriots, on the day before their first Super Bowl win in Super Bowl 36, videotaped the St. Louis Rams Saturday walkthrough in the Louisiana Superdome. The Patriots called the allegation, quote, absolutely false. And the NFL said they were aware of this rumor months ago, and after looking into it said, quote, there was no evidence of it on the tapes or in the notes produced by the Patriots. That's hardly been enough for longtime U.S. Senator Arlen Specter of Pennsylvania, who has called for Congress to delve into the matter and perhaps others that might be related to the Patriots. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell was on our air this morning on Mike and Mike, and Senator Specter spoke with Bob Lee on Outside the Lines.
The explanation given that they didn't want to have the tapes in existence so someone might get a competitive advantage just doesn't make any sense. If they're locked in the NFL safe, how can somebody use them? Interestingly, Kurt Warner is quoted today. He was the quarterback for the Rams, and he wants an investigation. He thinks that that it's a matter very serious and suggested it had an impact on the game.
There's different rumors that come out, and we have to look into those, and we look into every one of them and take them seriously. People are implying that this is some type of cover-up, where I think it was exactly the opposite. We were the ones who brought these facts out to light. We were the ones who took the unprecedented discipline. I have made it clear, though, that if new information does develop, that I reserve my right to revisit this situation, and I would.
We bring in Chris Mortensen now, and Mort, happy Super Bowl Sunday to you. What more do we know about what's now circulating this weekend? And the senator has certainly made his presence felt.
Yeah, Chris, and just in reviewing what Roger had said on Mike and Mike in the morning, the commissioner had said on Mike and Mike in the morning, he did use the word he would absolutely investigate the latest allegation. He also used the word we absolutely want to meet with Matt Walsh, the video assistant who was fired after the 2002 season. That they want to pursue him immediately is what he said. Well, I wonder if immediately means in Hawaii, because that's where Walsh is an assistant golf pro over in Hawaii. The commissioner is scheduled to go to Hawaii for Pro Bowl week, certainly, so that'll be interesting. The commissioner also said this is not criminal activity. But Senator Specter is a member of the Judiciary Committee, which reviews matters of the law. Remember, there is legal sports betting in this country. Billions of dollars are exchanged, especially on Super Sunday. So you have that matter that certainly the people could say they were defrauded. Then culpability, if in fact they find that this is true, then Bill Belichick is going to be the one who's most culpable, because as the commissioner noted in his first disciplinary action, Belichick is not only the head coach, but he's in control of basically all aspects of the football operation. And Boomer, I really believe that the Patriots, they've denied it so emphatically. I think their position is going to be that even if this happened, this was a rogue, independent video guy, and he was fired. He's a disgruntled employee. But the bottom line is he was an employee of the Patriots at that time.
All right, Moore, thank you. Moore, as if we learned anything, obviously more during the show. What do we make of all this, Coach?
Well, the only thing I think about, what extent you go, get a competitive advantage playing football. That's all I'm saying. This was done a long time ago. George Allen did it. He filmed the Cowboy practices. We knew it. Why do you do it? I mean, what's so important about that? I thought sport was based on, we're going to get on a level playing field. I'm going to play against you guys. If I'm better than you, I'm going to whip you. If you're better than me, you're going to whip me. That's what this is all about.
You know, I've always asked the same questions, when and to what extent, and never known the answers to that. I think now those answers are going to be known, because Senator Arlen Specter wants to know the answers. But this does occur to me. Matt Walsh, this videographer, had to sign a confidentiality agreement when he left the New England Patriots. Now, you're only a video guy. You're doing video of the games for the team's purposes. What's confidential? What is it that you are signing this clause for? And now we're going to find out the answers to those things. And, you know, once we find out those answers, I think then they become more than allegations or less than allegations.
You know, Tom, for me, it's like, I don't know why Senator Specter this week, Super Bowl, Friday, all of this has come out. But I know one thing, and I can tell you this. If, in fact, there is something that was not uncovered that the commissioner isn't telling us, or Coach Belichick isn't telling us, and you know how I feel about Coach Belichick.
How you feel about
you know how I feel.
Yep.
I will be highly disappointed in my league, and I would be extremely, highly disappointed in Coach Belichick. But I trust what he's saying. I mean, I really do.
Well, Key, you hit the nail on the head. I just find it very odd and strange that all of a sudden, 17, 18, 20 weeks later, this pops out on Super Bowl Sunday. To me, it's ridiculous. Why couldn't he done this 12 weeks ago when the allegations first broke out anyway, when they had the tapes in the first place? Obviously, I trust in Roger Goodell, and I believe Roger Goodell is going to make the right decisions for the National Football League. Now, I don't think we need to have some Senate committee come in and evaluate how the NFL handles its business. I think we do a very good job of disciplining people. We do a very good job of suspending people. We do a very good job of making sure that we have the right policies in place to protect the game and also try to protect the players as well.
It is unfortunate that it came about this weekend, but the reason it came about this weekend is that Senator Specter wrote letters to the league mid-November, mid-December. He didn't hear back from them until Thursday. That's how it came up this weekend. Okay. That is not the fault of Arlen Specter. So you have to remember that. And I think that what we're really talking about here is fair play, the edict of fair play. And you know, Steve, I know that you have strong feelings about that issue.
Yeah, Tommy, there's no question about that. And that's why, for me, Spygate is about impact. And I think that I kind of, the first time it went through in September and October, I kind of worked it out in my mind that, you know what, the impact wasn't great. I don't think it really changed the competitive balance. But then Michael Smith, I sat next to him on SportsCenter, he told an anecdotal story about a coach saying to another coach he couldn't believe that the Patriots were able to guess every time right. Now, coach knows you can guess sometimes, but not every time. And so my mind said, all of a sudden, this is impactful. This is changing games. And that's where, no matter how much you want to dismiss it, no matter how much you want it just to go away, it is Super Sunday. It's a horrible time to talk about it. But here we are. And it is, if it's impactful to the competitive balance of the game, we have to search it out, because in other words, you are now getting inside the other team's huddle. You know what's coming. If you know what's coming, you're inside their huddle. That's the sacred, if there is a sacred spot in football, metaphorically for the whole world, it's in your huddle. 11 heads together, bound down together. You are going to figure out what to do, go compete, and we're going to go play it on an even level. You're going to tell me that you're going to now be in that other team's huddle? That is a I don't care what you say, that's a problem.
Steve, look at it this way. Those coaches that played against Bill Belichick and the Patriots must be pretty stupid if they allowed that to continue to happen. But I'm going to give you a real-life example. I'll take you back to 1975. 33 years ago, I'm playing quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams against the St. Louis Cardinals in a playoff game. We had stole their signals by studying the St. Louis Cardinals defensive coordinator who called the plays. James Harris, my backup quarterback on the sideline, had a red towel in his hand. Every time I broke the huddle, I would look over to James Harris. For a quarter and a half, I got nothing. Middle of the second quarter, I break the huddle. James Harris throws the red towel on the ground. That was the signal to me that he had got their signal that a blitz was coming. The middle of the field was open. I hit Harold Jackson for a long touchdown pass. There's a huge advantage if you know the coverage scheme. But to me, it's always part of the game. If you can gain an advantage to help you win, go for it.
So you're saying you're okay to go in and sneak in and tape someone's practice?
Oh, you don't think that's what's going on?
I'm just saying you're okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
You can, if
I'm okay with it. I think they pushed the envelope a little bit. They pushed it, but I'm okay with it.
You're okay.
It's going on.
To break in and go ahead.
Are you naive enough to think that this isn't happening?
I'm just saying you're okay with it.
Yes.
Well,
wow. All right.
Guys pointed out the timing back in our Scottsdale set. It's a good point, but just remember, when do you cash your chips? When you can make the most profit. That's why the timing is happening now, whether it's from DC or an assistant golf pro in Kaanapali who's saying, hey, turn your hand over this way. And by the way, I've got a couple of tapes. Strike when the iron's hot. And the feeling from these guys and other people around the league, by the way, is that, boy, the Patriots don't need anything else to motivate them. But if this happens to come out this
I've changed
2
my
days,
score from 42-10 to 62-10.
That's right. Not that the group needs more focus, but this wouldn't hurt. In any case, on a lighter note, throughout our 3 hours of Sunday NFL Countdown, acoustic guitar duo Rodrigo y Gabriela will give us a little bit of the sounds of the Southwest to enjoy. Take a sample as we have plenty more of our Super Bowl Sunday coverage on Countdown. We roll on.
Welcome back to a special edition of Sunday NFL Countdown from Arizona, presented by IBM.
Yesterday, they announced the Hall of Fame class of 2008, and after a wait, this is great. Art Monk, 183 straight games he caught a pass. He goes in, the Redskin wideout. In his first year of eligibility, he entered the league fast. 20 years later, he left the league fast. Darrell Green, the last first-round pick of 1983. What a pick that was, played 295 games with the Redskins. Fitting, the Patriots are here. And Andre Tippett, who played on some of their not-so-great teams, 82 to 93, had 100 sacks in 11 years. The class includes 6. Speaking of pass rushers, Fred Dean, a pass rusher supreme with the Chargers and the Niners off the end. In 11 years goes in Emmett Thomas, who was part of that defense of the Chiefs in Super Bowl IV that crushed the Vikings for Hank Stram with 58 career INTs. And Gary Zimmerman, a Viking, then Bronco, 7-time Pro Bowler. He goes into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to all 6 gentlemen. They're going to Hawaii, and then we will see them this summer in Canton, Ohio, as we'll see Mort as well. Mort, 3 years ago, the Patriots faced the Eagles and Donovan McNabb in the Super Bowl. Number 5, a little news on McNabb and Philly. Will it be Philadelphia Freedom?
Well, we'll see. You know, I'm visiting with McNabb this week. He doesn't believe he's going anywhere. But that doesn't mean teams won't try. And here's one nobody's talked about. The Baltimore Ravens are seriously pondering a play for McNabb, meaning their first-round pick, number 8 overall, would certainly have to be included in any trade proposal. Another name that could merit some ironic, awkward, and even logical discussions is Cleveland's restricted free agent Derek Anderson, a former 6th-round pick of the Ravens, who's now running an offensive scheme that Cam Cameron will install in Baltimore. Bengals coach Marvin Lewis is on record as saying wide receiver Chad Johnson isn't going anywhere. Well, Johnson is represented by agent Drew Rosenhaus, so this figures to have some drama. And the drama is primarily between Johnson and Lewis. A source close to Johnson says he feels betrayed by his coach because Lewis quit speaking to his receiver early in the season. It's so bad that Johnson is privately threatening to sit out the 08 season if he isn't traded. We'll see. It's almost easy to forget that Adam Pac-Man Jones is a talent, a cover corner, and a dynamic kick returner. So don't dismiss the idea that some team could take a chance on the suspended Titans player. But nothing happens unless he gets reinstated by Commissioner Roger Goodell. A league source says not only is Pac-Man still frequenting strip clubs, Jones has missed more mandatory counseling sessions. The Titans plan to trade him if he ever gets his act together. Redskins owner Dan Snyder is interviewing former 49ers and Lions coach Steve Mariucci today, and Giants defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo might be interviewed on Monday, a day after coaching in Super Bowl 42. Otherwise, most signs still point to former Giants coach Jim Fassel as the likely successor to Joe Gibbs. And of course, Snyder and Vinny Serrato as executive vice president of player personnel, they've already hired coordinators, Jim Zorn on offense, Greg Bosch on defense. We'll see what happens this week. We'll be back.
To coach. How the Navy turned out to be the perfect training ground for Bill Belichick.
In the spirit in the military, no one's going to be left behind. You have a respect for someone other than yourself.
Plus, why the Giants have UCLA legend John Wooden to thank if they win the Super Bowl. And Tom Brady in the pocket with Steve Young and Ron Jaworski. What matchup will the Pats QB look to exploit? Next.
Now the fans are ready. So many New York Giant fans have made the trip to Arizona. They hope that their team has a thunder road. The boss would be the rookie tight end Kevin Boss, who stepped in beautifully for Jeremy Shockey. Well, the 4-year, the old timeline of being a big-time quarterback, if you've got it. How about that class of 04? Eli Manning picked 1st overall. Here he is. Phillip Rivers, championship game, picked 4th overall. Ben Roethlisberger, 11th overall, already won a Super Bowl. Eli's trying to pull off what Ben did with the 05 Steelers. Win 3 road playoff games, then finish the deal in the